What up? What up? What up? Let's see if we can get to this thing right quick, man. See what we got going on in here. See how many people up in here. All right. What up? What up? What up? What up? You up in here, man? Oh, let me fix those shirts, man. Let y'all see these shirts right here, man. Hopefully they won't fall. All right. Let's get into it. Let's get into it, man. All right. Let's get into it, man. Let's make it happen. Let me go out here and look at this. Let me go out here and look at this joint on the damn channel, man. View on watch page. Let's see. All right. What up? What up? What up? I see y'all in here, man. Christopher Ridley, Axman Hansen, Irwin. Hey, what up, homie? San Diego. Man, that's one of my favorite towns, bro. Last time I was out there, I was supposed to go whale watching, man, and I messed around and I left and thought I was gonna get back in time for my. I left and man, my ride out was scheduled. My boat ride was scheduled for 3 hours later, man. I messed around and went over to LA, man, with the Roscoe's Chicken and Waffles, man, and you know saw a few people in there, man, and chopped it up with them and. I missed my doggone boat ride, man. But I said next time I go out there, the first thing I'm gonna do, man, is I'm going out this summer. First thing I'm gonna do, man, is go whale watching, man. You know, I'm into that nature type stuff, man. I be like going bird watching and things. Man, I got binoculars and you know, I go out with my lens and take pictures of birds, man. And you know, I got some eye birds, man. I'm into that wildlife thing, man. That's another thing that women tend to enjoy, man, when I talk to them, man. When they find out the things that I'm into, man, then they automatically know, you know, I'm different. I'm not like any man they've ever met. So, Maurice, what up? What up? Good to see you in here. I mean, I knew you were coming, but good to see you here regardless. Good to see you here regardless. Let me see, man. When I'm using the Google Hangout, man, I can't keep track of my time, man. It don't. I have to look at another source of time, man, to like look at my computer time. So, man, we're gonna get into it. We're gonna get into it. Gilbert Bird, what up, homie? What up, man? I see y'all in here, man. See everybody in here, man, getting it. I don't really like this. The way it's looking on my screen when I'm looking at it, man, it look whack, bro. All right, man. We ain't gonna hang out around this more too long, man. People tend to straggle on in, man. We're gonna let them straggle in right here. You know, I'm gonna wait a couple of more minutes, man, before I get this thing started, man. Man, let me tell you about a scenario though, man. So peep game. I know some of y'all might remember, if you got the Too Raw for YouTube, then you heard about the scenario where I was telling you about the chick who was she was with another man, and I was knocking her first, and then she ended up getting engaged to this cat, but I kept on knocking her, and because I felt like it was my right, you know what I'm saying? Nobody told him to try to wife up a harlot, and just because you wife up my harlot, you know, if she's my harlot and you wife her up, that doesn't make her. Now, if you wife a woman up, I'm not gonna come and I'm not gonna meet your wife and, you know, and serve your wife, man, the mandingo, man. I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna get with no married woman. I meet a woman and she's married, it's a wrap, period. But if I'm already laying the lumber in her life, now granted, that's all she could get from me. It was never gonna progress to anything else. I always made sure I let her know that. And she wanted something else. She wanted to progress to something else. And so she settled for a beta male who was willing to do those things, even though he was reaping no benefits from the situation. He just saw her, she was beautiful. He thought he had himself something. You know how beta males look at women and think just because they look good that they're queens, that type of thing right there. And you know, I messed around and but to make a long story short, man, back to the modern day, the present day scenario. Another chick, man, from the past. I don't even know how she got my number, dude. I changed my number since then. I don't know how she got my number. But I mean, if you go to my store, you can get my number. If you go to my Facebook page, you can get my number. It's, you know, I'm a businessman, so I keep the lines of communication open, you know, just for customers and other business endeavors. But anyway, man, she pops up out of the blue. I get a message that says, "Hope you had a great week." Now, the thing about it, I knew who number it was. I'm pretty good with numbers. I remember my phone number from when I was 5 years old. I remember my best friend's phone number from when I was 5 years old, and the neighbor across the street's number when I was 5 years old. You know what I'm saying? When my parents split, my best friend when I was 7, the first cat I met when I was 7, when you know, when my mom moved away, I remember his number. So I'm just good with numbers. I remember people's numbers. And so I knew who it was automatically. So I played along with it, man. And before you know it, man, within a 15-minute, what I like to call texturization, within a 15-minute texturization, you know, she was already talking about, man, how she couldn't wait to touch me, man, couldn't wait to taste me, couldn't wait to do all that, bro. And now that may sound like, you know, that's player. That's player. So that's you know, who can complain about that? Except I come to find out during the texturization that actually not during the texturization, someone that knows us mutually told me about 6 months ago that just randomly, you know, when the last time you talked to such, man? And you know, I was like, it's been forever, man. I don't even remember. And they're like, man, you know, she got married, man. So she didn't even know I know this, but here she is, married. Unbeknownst to her, I'm aware of this. And man, just the things, if I could show you the things she was texting me, man, if I could show you the things she was saying to me, and all the while, you know, she's got a husband and she thinks I don't know, which is crazy. So I'm looking at the scenario and I'm like, man, now granted, that would never happen to me because I'm not going to marry one, for one thing. And secondly, this is when you look at the scenario and see how alpha benefit from things that beta males find detrimental into their life, in their lives. So, you know, there are plenty of scenarios in my life, man, where I benefited from being alpha in scenarios where another man who was beta was victimized. Now, I'm not proud of those things. I'm not saying that to brag about them or anything. They're relevant to this stream or to the first topic in this stream anyway. And I just know that these guys always fall into a situation with a woman just based on how she looks. and the image she portrays to them. You see, a woman knows, if you're a beta male, she automatically knows that she can present herself as a good girl to you because you're looking for a good girl. You believe that you're going to find a good girl. You believe that the majority of women are good girls, and the women who aren't good girls, you believe that they were turned bad by a man. A beta male is the type of man who believes that every bad woman was turned bad by a bad man. That's what beta males believe. What I am saying is, here I am, and if I had been the man that I was maybe 10 years ago, I wouldn't even be on this stream. She'd be on the way to the crib right now. But I'm not that man anymore. You know, I hold myself in higher regard than that. I will not be the tool that some low-hanging fruit uses to manipulate her position in a beta male's life. I used to be willing to victimize beta males. I always felt like if you're beta and I'm alpha, then whatever you have is mine anyway. I viewed it with the Jungle Creed. The Jungle Creed said the strong will feed on any prey at hand. I ate at the feast and I was labeled a beast before I was a man. That's the Jungle Creed, and I always lived by the Jungle Creed. Hell, I live by the Jungle Creed now, but now morality trumps the Jungle Creed in most scenarios. In all scenarios, actually. So, you know, it's one of those things where, you know, I look at it, man, and I'm like, and this cat probably doesn't even know. I know he doesn't know. He doesn't even know that the woman he thinks is so great is trying to reach back. She's trying to monkey branch back. You know, I did a video recently that said, never let a woman monkey branch back to you. So there's no possible way in this scenario she'll ever be able to get what she wants. But for me, I think it's clear. I think it's alpha to make a woman know that no matter what you do as an alpha male, once I own your mind, I own your mind. Period. You know, man, I own this woman's soul. So no matter who she ends up with, I could always be available for her to monkey branch back if I was, you know, willing to be a beta male, let a woman monkey branch back to me. But every man who's with her doesn't know that I got her soul like that. And that's the thing you have to understand. You have to know a woman's history, man, because most women, some man has her soul already. Whether she was heartbroken or what. If a woman was heartbroken, distraught, destroyed emotionally by a man because he fed her lies and she believed it and she thought he was going to be one and he cheated on her and did all that. Any woman who can say she was brokenhearted by a man, that man has her soul. You have no opportunity to get the soul of that woman. And I want a woman's soul. I don't care about her body. I don't care about anything. I want her soul. I don't care about her heart. She can do what she want to do with her heart. I don't care about her feelings. But when you get a woman's soul, you never relinquish that. And that's what I am, man. I'm a female soul collector. I collect women's soul. And that's just one woman whose soul that I've collected. And I will always have her soul. At some point throughout her life, she will always reminisce back to the way being with an alpha male like me made her feel. And she won't get that opportunity again. This is the thing. They always want us as men to look at women like, well, you'll never find another woman like that. No, she'll never find another man like me. Every woman is going to have one opportunity in her life. If that, not all women are going to meet an alpha male, but every woman is never going to have more than one opportunity to enjoy life in the presence of an alpha male. And that's just it. The longer she works at trying to make sure that that alpha male is perfectly content in that situation, then the longer she'll be able to be in it. Sometimes it could turn into a lifetime. It's rare, but it could turn into a lifetime of that woman being in the alpha male's presence. But there's going to be some concessions, some things she's going to have to accept in order to be that way. All right. Yo, if you haven't already got your shirt, man, go over here to the site. Go ahead, get it, man. Go ahead over there and get it, man. Also, I know, you know why I put this up here, man. Nobody really uses the PayPal link, man. People just super chat. But I'm going to put it up here anyway just because I had it. I know y'all can hear me pecking, man. I don't type words in, man. I peck pretty good, though, man. I peck about 30 words a minute. I'm talking about looking at the paper and turning around and picking. I can pick about 30 words a minute now, man, which ain't bad for picking. I don't think so. But, you know, it's one of those things, man, where the more I think about it, the more I realize that this particular woman is not ever going to be able to be 100% into any other man for the simple fact that I do have her soul. And when you have a woman's soul, you really own that woman forever. You own a piece of her. You can have a woman's heart and she can finally get you out of her heart. But if while you had her heart, you got her soul, then she's trapped. There will be a part of her that belongs to you, so she can't go too far. Because if you give me your arm and you can still get it back, at some point you're going to come back for that motherfucker. You ain't going to go too far away from it, because at some point you're going to realize you need your arm. It's the same principle. There's a part of her that's stuck with me. Whether I want it or not, there's a part of her that's stuck with me. Now, that's the catch-22. Once you get a woman's soul, you can't get rid of it. It's a part of you. You understand what I'm saying? That's the catch-22. That's why I don't advise men to be just running around hawking a lot of women, man, trying to be with me, as many women as they possibly can. I don't think that's wise. I don't think it's logical. I don't think it makes a lot of sense. And it certainly doesn't benefit you long term. So, you know, and now don't get me wrong, man. I'm a man. I'm a man. She's a beautiful woman. And I did enjoy all of my sexcapades with her. Some of the most enjoyable. Hey, man, several of my top 10 sexual experiences of life, man, occurred with her. So don't get me wrong. I'm not saying I didn't enjoy the situation and that it's not tempting. It is tempting, but I will not be victimized by temptation, man. I'm a grown man, bro. I'm an alpha male. How can I explain being tempted by a woman and then giving in? How can I explain to my son that at this point in my life, I'm so weak that I'm tempted by a situation that's not great, a situation that's negative, a situation that's detrimental? I'm tempted by someone else's wife, and I'm going to give in to that temptation. How can I understand? How can I teach my son to be an alpha male when I'm doing beta male activity like that? When I'm succumbing to the pressure of a beta male like that? Simply Deep 1985, what up? G, what up? Noble Casalupus, what up, man? What's good? Dan the G God, what up? What up? So, you know, there go Dan the G God jumping right in, man. Back on time again. Yo, man, this is just the reality of the situation, man, is that as an alpha male, man, there are so many benefits that you get from beta males' faults, from things that affect beta males negatively. And I'm not going to shun that, but I am going to allow my morality, my moral fiber to dictate whether I capitalize on those things or not. And the fact that she's married to a guy means that I'm not going to cross that line. You know what I'm saying? I'm just not going to cross that line. And, you know, another thing is that, you know, there's an old saying that old people used to say when I was younger, man. And a gander is a type of bird. And so their saying was, what's good for the goose is good for the gander, which in essence means that if something is good for you, then it's good for that person as well. Or if you can do something, they can do it too. Or if you can capitalize on something, they can capitalize too. But what I'm telling you is when it comes to being alpha and beta, when it comes to be a masculine man or being an effeminate man that's led by his woman or the women around him, then what's good for the goose is not good for the gander. What's good for the alpha is not good for the beta. Most times what's good for the alpha is a detriment to the beta. Alpha males reap the benefits from women because of beta males. So as an alpha male, I must appreciate beta males, because if not for the beta male, what would the woman be able to compare me to? How would she tell how alpha I am unless she compares me to the beta male? So I say, all hail the beta male, because the beta male is the fabric of this society. He is the one that makes me so valuable to women. He is the one that makes me so qualified. Every time he does something beta and I do something alpha, it makes me that much better than him. So when my alpha essence shows up, in comparison to his beta essence, the more beta he is, the more alpha I seem. And I am telling you, man, I am perfectly okay with that. I accept that. I embrace that, man. I embrace the fact that this is the life that I was meant to lead. And I will not apologize for living this life. I don't care if a beta male is victimized. He ain't victimized by me. He's victimized by his woman. You see what I'm saying? If you marry a woman that's not even into you like that, that doesn't even respect you like that, then whose fault is that? Am I to blame for your lack of judgment when it comes to, am I to blame for your propensity to pedestalize a woman before you even know anything about her, just based on how she looks, just based on the fact that she's the most beautiful woman that you've ever had the opportunity to be around? I don't care if she's the most beautiful woman you've ever had the opportunity to be around. It doesn't benefit me if she is or if she isn't. All I'm saying to you is that if you're a beta male and women capitalize on that, I don't feel sorry for you. I appreciate you though, because that very same woman who spent all that time with a beta male will fall to her knees and kiss the ring of the alpha male, man. That's what she'll do. And I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. You know, if you are, let me see who just stepped. Dean J, what up, bro? I see you up in here. When you, Tamara says she don't wear panties. That's how I like my women. I don't like women who wear panties, man. You know what I'm saying? If it ain't that time of the month, don't wear them. I don't even see why you would wear them. I don't want to have to deal with them. I don't want it to be, you know, I don't want the easy access. Then let that, you know what I'm saying? Let that joint air out, man. You know, let it breathe. Now that's just my preference. So, but I know like a beta male will look at her saying that and be like, well, I wonder how come she don't wear them. Maybe she trying to go meet some dude. Maybe she got a boyfriend somewhere. You know, maybe she, you know, I don't know. Well, how come she don't wear panties? I think you ought to wear panties. You know, nobody wants to. That's nasty. It makes you, you know, people gonna think you're a freak if you don't wear. That's how a beta male views it. A beta male views life from the perspective of what he needs to change in order to feel better about himself. An alpha male views life from the perspective of how much of this shit can I embrace and enjoy. An alpha male only wants to change the things that he can't enjoy. If I can enjoy it, I don't want it to change. If I can find positivity in it, I don't want it to change. If it brings joy to me, if it brings happiness to me, if it makes me feel like the alpha male that I am, if I want to beat my chest like King Kong, then I simply do not want to change it. And there are several things that the beta male wants to change. The beta male wants to handcuff his woman. He wants to keep her from going out with her friends. He wants to keep her from, you know, doing fun things. He wants to take her away from her family. He wants to take her away from those people who support her because he wants to be her only support system. That's super beta. I don't want to be all that for a woman. I don't want to be your best friend. I don't want to be your confidant. I don't want to be your family. I don't let all of those people in your life, let all of them keep their positions. Because the only thing I can be for you is this alpha male that I am. I can't give you anything else, period. I can't be all of that. I don't want to be all of that. I don't want to be the one that you come in and talk to every day about how bad your day was. There's someone else in your life already when I met you, whoever that person was, that's their responsibility. I don't want to be the one to go shopping with you. I'm not going to be at the mall with your ass all day like that. I got better things to do than hang out at the mall with you. So whoever you were going shopping with before, you keep going shopping with that person. All of the things you're doing with these other people. Your girls' night out, don't change your girls' night out and try to make it an us night out because I don't want to go out on your girls' night out. Keep doing that. I already got something I was doing on your girls' night out. You keep your life. Everything in your life that you love and enjoy, you keep that. And then I'll create the scenarios that we need in our life to enjoy one another. But I don't want to take the responsibility of all of those people. Your family, your friends, your classmates, your whoever they are, your Facebook friends, your Instagram followers. I don't want to be responsible for any of that stuff. I only want to be responsible for the things that you can only give from an alpha male. Period. Anything you can get from a beta or another woman or your mama or your dad or any of that, get it from them because I don't want to do any of that stuff. All I want to do is alpha things, man. That's it. If it's not alpha, I don't want to do it. And not what you think is alpha, not what they think is alpha, what I view as alpha. If I don't view it as alpha, I'm not doing it. So I don't care what no woman says. I'm not finna go to no church with no woman. I'm not finna go to no family reunion with no woman. I'm not finna go to your parents' anniversary with you. I'm not finna do any of that. Anything that was in your life before you met me is your thing. Don't put no pressure on me to be a part of it. I'll create scenarios over here for you and I to enjoy ourselves together. And all that over there is your life. Because there are things that I do that I don't want you doing with me. There are things that I do right now that no woman I meet is ever welcome to doing. I don't want you to do them with me. I don't want you to know about it. I don't want you to be a part of it. I don't want you to start acting like you're interested in them. I don't want you to research them. I don't want you to do none of that. I want you to keep doing what you do to enjoy your life, and I'm going to keep doing what I do, because the moment I allow you to start becoming involved in my life, then you're going to try to overrun my life with your presence. And that's going to make me cut you off. Period. And these are the type of things that I discuss with women, man. That's why women don't walk away from me when I tell them I'm not looking for a relationship. Because once I run all this down to them, they realize that being in a relationship with me is going to be hard. Not because it's going to take a lot of effort, but because it's going to be a lot less hands-on than what they're used to. You see, with a beta male will change his whole life and envelop his life. He'll develop this woman with his life. Everything in his life will start to become based on that woman. And I'm not going to do that. If the more things you base on that woman, the more you lose your own self. And what man truly wants to lose himself? I'm not interested in losing myself, man. I work too hard to find me. You know how hard it is to find the man you are? It takes you until you in your 30s, man, to really find the man you are. So why would I then meet a woman when I've just found the man that I am? Why would I then meet a woman and say, you know what? I think I'm going to give myself to that woman. I think I'm going to be everything that this woman wants me to be. No, because all that's going to mean is she's focusing on you, you focusing on her, she's focusing on her. Who is focusing on you? No one. Because if you don't care about you, you can't expect anyone else to. Maurice, I appreciate the super chat, Shawty. Good looking out. Good looking out. I appreciate that. Yo, man, let me tell you something, man. Maurice is a true supporter of the book of AlphaRonomy, man. She is a true supporter of the book of AlphaRonomy. And I appreciate that. Because being a female, being a woman, most of this shit that I say is not very female friendly. Like, I get a bunch of negative comments from females on especially that video I talked about Derrick Jackson, man. About every week a woman come through there and tell me a new one, man, on that video. But, you know, to how he's exposing men and how he's, he's just exposing men and men are mad because he's telling the truth about him and letting women know. And my mindset is, how in the hell is you a grown woman? You've been in all these situations with these women, with these men, and it take Derrick Jackson to tell you how men are? You mean to tell me that all this time dealing with all these men, going through all these things you've been going through, you haven't figured that out? Let me tell you something, man. It is very rare that a woman understands the truth and accepts the truth about the relationship between men and women. And Maurice is one of those women who understands that, and I appreciate her support. You know, and I mean, she got pretty tough skin, man, because y'all fellas, man, y'all give a little tough time in here, man. Y'all put a little pressure on in here, man, but she never buckles under the pressure. So again, I appreciate that super chat, Tam. Good looking out. Yo, let me tell you something, man. The problem with the beta male is that he lives the same fairy tale life that women live. He is the male in the romance novel. Like, he believes that that's what's going to happen. Chuck Spencer, good to see you in here, bro. Glad you finally caught one, man. DJ Blink 01, what up? What up, man? Nova Casalupas, I appreciate that super chat, man. Good looking out. So, it's one of these things, man, where I truly believe that if more women were exposed to this information by people whose information that, it's kind of like Dean J just said. there are probably some women that Tamara knows who will come listen to this content and be as willing to embrace it as she is. But there are some women who she could sit down in a group with and talk about this, and they'd be much more receptive to hear from her because they respect the information coming from a female voice more. You know, it's kind of like I had a woman comment on the Derrick Jackson. I got a video called Preachers, R&B Singers, Preachers, and Derrick Jackson. Preachers, R&B Singers, and Derrick Jackson selling women dreams. And she came to the video and she said she hates to admit it, but it's the truth. Women go over there, and to them, Derrick Jackson is the dream guy. He's the guy who says everything the women want them to hear. He acts like he really, really believes it. Like he presents it as if it's valuable information that they should believe, that's going to change their lives, and they flock to it. Whether it's true or not, they don't care. There are women who just want somebody to tell them that they don't have to be held accountable for their mistakes. They don't have to be held accountable for their bad decisions. DJ Blink 01, I appreciate the super chat, man. I appreciate it. First time in the chat, man. Donating in the super chat, man. I appreciate that, bro. Look, let me tell you something, man. You have to understand this, that let's take the woman who's been with a bunch of men. We're to the point now where I wouldn't ask a woman that. I don't care about that. But women volunteer. Women volunteer, and then they want to say that they've changed, that they're born again, especially the Christian woman. They've changed. They're not like that anymore. And they don't want to be held accountable for them. So these type of brothers will tell them that it takes a real man to date a woman who has a history. Like only a real man can date a woman who has a history. It's that type of foolishness, man. That's why the beta male makes it so great, because when you hold a woman accountable, and these women don't know, they're being taught something that don't apply to us. There's no man she's gonna meet out here that's gonna present to her like that is true. No man is gonna say, "Oh, you've been with 50 men, you're okay, you're still a queen." No man is really gonna say that, man. So these women are being set up to view life from a perspective that is just not going to be real, man. It is not going to pan out, but later for them. Let's get back to the beta male here. The problem with most alpha men is that we feel guilty about benefiting at the expense of the beta male, because we still view that camaraderie as men. We're still men. We're all men. You can't benefit off another man. You can't be trying to do something that capitalizes on another man's shortcomings. Yes, the hell you can. That's what this life is based on. So what I am telling you guys is, and I'll be perfectly honest with you, if this woman was not married, if she was not married, of course, she'd be at my crib right now. She'd be at my crib right now. Matter of fact, she'd be walking around here right now, going back there fixing me a drink with a pair of sexy panties and bra set on, man, with some little nighty shit on. She'd be looking sexy, coming over here in this live chat. You guys will be looking at her saying, "Damn, she bad, bro." That's the life that I be living right now. So I'm basically saying, man, that you have to understand, man, that if the very moment you decide that what a woman wants is more important than what you want, then you compromise your manhood. And once you compromise your manhood, you don't get it back. Once you give a woman your balls, they're gone. I'll tell you two things women don't give back: a wedding ring and your balls. Those are two things you ain't getting back: an engagement ring and your balls. Give them to a woman and see if you can get them back. You can take her to court, you still won't get them back. She'll rather go to jail than give you your ring back. And she'll rather go to jail to give you your balls back. You are not getting your balls back when you give them to a woman. Protect your balls, man, because you ain't getting them back. She's going to keep them. She's going to put them somewhere where you can't find them. She's going to put them in her jewelry box. And you're going to think it's jewels in there, not jewels that you wear. Your family jewels going to be in there. I am telling you what I know, what I believe, what I respect, what I understand about the interaction with women. And what you have to understand is that women don't take no prisoners when it comes to being beta. If you beta, a woman is going to capitalize on that. She ain't going to let you get away with being beta. No woman is going to let you get away with being beta. Every woman that you meet, once she finds out you're beta, she going to try to capitalize on that. And all I'm saying is, as alpha men, that benefits us. Because a woman who has been with a beta male will go crazy over an alpha male. And that's the issue that I have, man. The issue that I have is that women have been with nothing but beta males. So when a woman meets me, I can tell her all this about me. I don't want no relationship. I ain't gonna never be with one woman. You could be my number one, but you'll never be my only one. You know, I ain't trying to have no children with you. I'll never marry you. I ain't doing none of that. We can't live together. Don't show up at my crib, man. Let me tell you something. I'd have had a woman on my team for 6 months before, man. She showed up at my crib unannounced, man. I talked to her through the peephole. I told her to go home. Don't come to my crib unannounced no more. Rules are rules. They say rules are meant to be broken. Yeah, they're meant to be broken, but only by the setter of the rules. The only person who can break the rules is the person who make the rules. And as an alpha male, I make the rules in my life. When I deal with a woman, I'm going to deal with her on my terms. So even if one day I decide, man, that, man, I'm going to settle down and marry me a woman. Just hypothetically speaking, if I decided I'm going to settle down and marry me a woman, I guarantee you that their relationship is going to be alpha as hell. It ain't going to never cross her mind that she can leave me and take what I got and she can do this. And it ain't going to never cross her mind because I'm still going to be alpha. She's not going to think, I got it now. He's my husband. He's beta. She's going to think, I got an alpha ass husband. That's what she's going to think. Because alpha trumps all of her ideals of you. If you're alpha, no matter what the hell else you are, alpha comes before that. If you're a garbage truck driver, you're an alpha ass garbage truck driver. See what I'm saying? If no matter what you are, you're alpha. Once you present yourself as alpha to a woman, and over time she sees that that's just who you are, it's not an act. Because I'm gonna tell you, even if you Denzel Washington, you can't act forever. Eventually, the true you is gonna show up. That's just how it is. So once the true you shows up, anything you've been trying to act like you are, that goes out the window. Nobody believes an actor once you come out of character. You come out of character, and they're like, oh, this stuff been in character all this time. That's it for you. So once a woman realizes that she's dealing with a true alpha male, she breaks her own walls down. She breaks her own ideas down about how she's supposed to be with a man because she knows that she wants this alpha in her life. She cannot resist this alpha in her life. She hates it that this alpha is in her life. And now all she's worried about is how she's going to keep him. Is he going to leave? Because at no point has he made her think that he's attached. At no point has he shown her any other beta male signs to let her know that she can get away with this or she can get away with that. Every day she's walking on eggshells. Every day she's trying not to say the wrong thing. Every day she's trying not to piss you off. Every day she's trying to make sure that when you leave, you're coming back again. That's the alpha life. That's the benefit of being alpha. So, I try to tell, when I hear a guy say that alpha is this or alpha is that, or man, listen, all alpha is being a man. I'm not talking about just being a man. I'm talking about being a true man. Being the essence of man, being a man like men were 100 years ago, being a man like the man Moses was, being a man like the man Joshua was, I'm being a man, man, being a man like the man King Solomon was before he got caught up with all them bras. Being a man, man, I'm talking about a man who stands on manhood and doesn't compromise it for anything. That's period, man. I don't compromise my manhood for nothing. I will lose everything I got now and everything I'll ever get before I compromise my manhood. I'm telling you, I will not compromise my manhood. It's all I got. If I compromise my manhood, man, what do I have left? Memories of when I was a man? No, I'm not doing it, man. And so when I look at situations, there are certain situations I don't look at from a beta male perspective. Game wise, good to see you in here, bro. I don't look at situations like betas do. So when I look at a married man, I don't look at a married man and say, man, you beta. I don't do it. I don't look at a man who's not married and say, man, you alpha because you didn't get married. Alpha is simply being who you want to be and making sure that everybody around your ass is going to take part in that. See, if a woman is around me, she doesn't have a choice but to take part in my alpha essence, or she's not going to be around. There's nothing she presents to me that's going to make me say, well, I better just make a concession here and let her stay around because she's so nothing. She's so what I want her to be. She's so what I need her to be. She's so what I allow her to be. And I'm not saying this to say, man, that I have to be mean. I'm not mean to women, man. Let me tell you something, man. Every woman that's ever been with me, man, she'll tell you that I'm alpha. She never met a man like me. But at the same time, she'll tell you, man, women refer to me as a sweetheart, man. I don't treat women bad, bro. I don't argue with women and fuss with women and fight with women and be mean to women and call them names and do all that because I know the number one tool. I've got a tool that's better than all of that. You could fight a woman, you could beat a woman, you could do all that to a woman, call her names, but I've got a tool that's better than that. I've got a tool that's better than all of that combined. I'll simply leave her ass alone. Period. I'll leave her alone. I'll cut off all ties. I'll block her number. I'll block her on social media. I'll block her ass on YouTube. She can't even come in on my video. I'll block her in every single way. I will cut off all ties. That is my tool. That is my weapon. That is the number one weapon you can have for a woman who wants to be with you. I don't take no BS from them. Like Dean J just said, Alpha is not tolerating, I'm not tolerating a BS, man. I ain't got time for it. Because I can simply eradicate them. I can simply eliminate them from this is my life. I can have any who I want to have in it. Period. So at the very moment she decides that she's going to try to play games with me, I don't play games. I don't even play PlayStation. I don't know how to play one single PS4 game at all. The PS2, PS3, PS4, I don't know how to play one. I don't even know what the X button does on that shit, man. I don't play games, man. I'm not interested in playing games. There's no information in a game. So I'm telling you, man, I live this life based on what I think is important. And what I think is important is enhancing my manhood every day. Making sure that no matter what I face, I am this 100% masculine male that I am. That is who I'll be. That is what I'll be. Now, man, what I want y'all to do, man, y'all, let me put this link back down here, man, so y'all can run over here and grab you a t-shirt right here, man, because I got them over there for you, man. That's what they're there for. They're there for you guys to go over there and go ahead and grab them on up, man. So, matter of fact, let me show you guys one, man. I'm going to show them to you guys here right quick, man, just so you guys are book of AlphaRonomy. Okay. All right, let me show you guys a shirt right quick, man. I got some hanging up there, man, but I'm gonna show you guys like a better one, man. I'm show you guys a good shot of it, man. So that's it right there, man. Alpha Sup, cool ass Tomcat up there, man. This is the shirt, man. Go ahead and grab yourself one, man. Go ahead over there to the Book of AlphaRonomy site, man. Go ahead and grab you one, man. Put yourself in the game, man. Make yourself feel like a, represent. OB, what up, homie? So, it's one of those things, man, where I truly believe that you need to be willing to lose everything. You need to be willing to lose everything. Oh yeah, I shipped them out, bro. I shipped them out, Danny G guy, for sure. I shipped them, man. You should have got an email though. If you check it, like I set it up, man. Send you an email, man, with your tracking number, and first you got an email that let you know it had been shipped out, that the order had been fulfilled, and then I sent you a tracking number. I sent you a tracking number and the delivery service. So if you check the email, man, you should have that. But you have to understand, man, that like Chuck Spencer said, man. A woman must submit, period. I don't deal with women who are not submissive because one of us has to submit. And I'm not submitting to nobody. I am not. Elevate higher, man. I appreciate you coming in. Come in, bro. I appreciate it, man. Like, I am not going to submit. It is not in me to submit. But I will not battle back and forth with a woman. I'm not going to be in a situation, man, where every time I say something to a woman, man, it's got to turn into a debate. Every time I tell her to do something, it's got to be, you know, she got to question me about it. She got to, you know, find the validity in the request or in the demand or in the command. She's got to know why, or she got to hear it a certain way. I got to put please behind it at the end of that. Hey, man, I'm not going to talk mean to her, but I'm not going to be talking about, hey, baby, can you do this, please? I'm not, man, listen to how that sounds. Does that even sound like a voice that will come out of me, man? Or can you do this for me, baby, please? No, man, I'm not saying that, bro. What I'm going to say, hey, look, Shot, I need you to go handle this for me. Yo, hey, when you get out of work, stop out here and handle this for me. You know, I see you in a minute. That's how I'm going to talk to you. I ain't got time to be dealing with no emotional shit. I got things I got to do, and if I need you to help me with those things, I need you to go do them. And on the back end, I'm going to treat you well. I'm going to treat you well. When you really, really put forth an effort to make yourself look good for me, I validate you with a compliment. But only when you put forth that great effort. Don't come asking me how you look in this dress. If I didn't tell you how you look in it, I don't think you put forth enough effort to get a compliment. Don't go dress up every time you put. If you're not dressing up for me, don't ask me how the hell you look, because I don't care. I don't care. When you are putting forth effort to dress up and look good for me, then I will validate you with a comment. Only when you're catering to me will you be validated with a comment or validated with a vote of confidence. It is not my job to sit around and give a woman a vote of confidence every day. That is why I say, whatever relationships a woman has when she meets me, she needs to keep them all. Because her validation is coming from those people. It needs to keep coming from those people, because no woman will get daily validation from me. Period. Period. Because I don't even want her to go out of her way to look fly for me every day. I don't care how she looks every day. On the time, when the times I am concerned about it, I want her to put forth that very extra effort. Other than that, I don't care, man. You know, I truly believe that this is what you deal with when you deal with women. Women love masculine men. They love masculine men. I'm talking about to the core. Every woman is head over heels when she's got a masculine male in her life. A masculine man will drive a woman cuckoo. I mean, will make a woman go crazy. But this society also gives a woman all the ammunition she needs to not be submissive. So she's got this battle going on in her mind where internally she wants to submit to this man because that's her nature. A woman wants to submit to an alpha male because that's her nature. It's just a natural occurrence. But the information she's getting from this society that's anti-submission is in her mind as well. And it's flooding her mind because it's being perpetuated through all forms of media, all forms of social media. And so she's going through all of this crazy stuff. Then, like Dean J just said, she's getting a world of validation from Facebook and Instagram and everywhere else that she's willing to show herself in any kind of way. She's getting a load of validation from those places. And so that's more fodder for her to pour into that heaping pile of bull foolishness that she's using to keep herself from submitting totally to the alpha male. That is why alpha males have multiple women, because you can't believe, you can't trust a woman to do what her internal, what her internal clock, what her internal being is telling her to do. It doesn't benefit her in this society to be submissive. She's too worried about what people are going to say. She's too worried about what people are going to think. So she would rather settle down with a beta male, because even though she doesn't want the beta male like that, the beta male is safe. The beta male allows her to have some control. The beta male allows her to be who she feels like she wants to be and keeps her from having to submit to him, because the beta male doesn't want a woman to submit to him. He wants to submit 50%. He wants her to submit 50%. He wants everything to be an equal partnership. And there is not a woman alive in a way to enjoy that So when she's left with that option, she much rather settle down with a beta male. It makes more sense to go the easy route when it comes to some mangina. A woman who settled down with a beta male some mangina will forever and always have the propensity to have the likelihood of being emotionally victimized by the presence of an alpha male. Area earlier represents. I don't even know him, but for him to view her as wifey material, he's beta. Only a beta male will view her as wifey material. I never viewed her as wifey material, ever. I never even close to that. If I would have ever thought about that, I would slap the hell out of myself, man, and say, wake up. I never consider her that. At all. I never even consider her relationship material. I never even consider her someone that you claim in any kind of way. So only a beta male would take a woman with those qualities, with that lack of qualification, and make her a wife and just wife her up. I mean, you just wouldn't do it, man. It's just not one of those things that you would do. It makes no sense to do it. So I guess what I'd say is, if you're in that situation and you know that you're a beta male, if you're beta, you know it. You know to interact. Beta males are stressed out in situations with women. They accept things they don't want to accept. The main way you can tell if you're a beta male in a situation with a woman is you can't get sex whenever you want it. Period. If you can't get sex whenever you want it, you got a woman. Y'all live together. Y'all married. Y'all engaged. Y'all just in a committed relationship or any of that. If you can't get sex, if you're with a woman in a relationship and you can't get sex when you want it, then you're a beta. She's only doing that because you're a beta. Your presence doesn't command that. When a woman is in the presence of an alpha male, man, she can't contain herself. She wants to be intimate. She can't help it. The alpha male walks into the room with his alpha presence. She can't help it. She wants to be intimate. She's turned on almost every time she's around an alpha male. That is why I don't spend a lot of time around women. If I dated as much as these dudes be out here dating, man, I have to beat women off with a stick, bro. I'm telling you, I'd have to beat women off with a stick because they will be all over me all the time. And that's that, man. Let me tell you something about my life, man. I mean, I'm not even bragging, bro. Any woman I've ever dealt with, if they came to my crib, as soon as they come through the door, it's all over me. Like they are all over. There is no time to talk. There's no time to sit down. There's no time to even hang their coat up on the coat rack. They are coming out of their clothes. They are all over me, man. Like, but I can't even breathe. And that's how it is every single time. Not because I'm so great, simply because I'm a man. I'm a real, true man. And just my masculinity, all this testosterone overwhelms a woman's mind. And before you know it, she can't control herself. She can't, no matter what she told herself before she comes in the door. Man, that's why women come through the first time they come to my crib, the first time they come to my house, that's it. I've never had a woman come to my house, ever. I've never had a woman come to my house in all of my years dealing with women. I've never had a woman come to my house who I didn't close the deal with the first time. I've never had a woman visit me and I didn't close the deal the very first time. And this is not, I've never even thought about it. This isn't something that I ever said and said, well, you know, man, I can't, you know, this is something I should brag about. It's not something I should brag about, man. It is simply a fact because I am a man. I'm not even talking about an alpha. I'm a man, a masculine man. I don't have problems with women turning off when they're around me. I don't have problem with women standing me up. Am I breaking up? Hey, man, can y'all hear me? If y'all can hear me in the chat, man, loud and clear, man, and everybody, y'all give me a thumbs up in the chat. Man. I mean, put one in the chat, man, if you can hear me loud and clear. Before I continue, man, let me see, man. Chama Marie said I'm breaking up. All right, I'm waiting on y'all to hit me with the one in the chat, man. This thing kind of it's all right, cool. All right. It must be your connection over there, Tam. I'm getting all these ones in here. All right, cool. So, you know, when I think about it, man, there is a certain way your life is if you're alpha. There's just a certain way your life is. I appreciate the ones, fella. Appreciate the responses, man. Let me know I'm still got my sound going, man. You know, then the G guy just said something that's real. Emotions aren't real. What you feel is not even real, man. Situations and circumstances can alter what you feel instantaneously. What you feel is not real. Only what you think matters. The past is not real. The past is gone, man. Like, why waste time thinking about something you cannot change at all? You cannot affect the past in any way. You can't even change the way you think about it. You have to block it out. Once it's done, it's done. It's over with, man. That is how you have to view life. I know I'm still drinking out of plastic, man, but when I was under, man, I bought 3 cases of this, man. I don't throw nothing away, man. I spend money on it. If I'm gonna die from these balls of water, man, until I knock them out, then man, I'm just gonna be dead. Okay, got chopped for a brief second. All right. When emotions lead, this is what the homie Chuck Spencer says. When emotions lead, failure follows, no doubt. Emotion is a defense mechanism. It is what people do. It is what people feel. It is what people respond with when they're trying to protect themselves. So when you respond with anger to something, you respond with anger because you're trying to protect yourself from the reality of that situation. So if someone punks you, or let's say a woman says something to you out of the way, or you're the type of beta male that's sitting around arguing and debating with a woman, and she says something that hits below the belt, like your sex ain't good or your wood is small. You respond with anger because you're trying to protect yourself from the reality of that possibly being the case. See, there's certain things that a woman says to you that probably hold some truth to them, but she doesn't say them to you until she's angry. And then granted, there are some times that women just say the total opposite of what's the truth, just to be throwing things out there. But most time we as men do that. We throw random things out that are true or not, because you find yourself arguing with a woman and you can't win. Trying to win and arguing with a woman is like trying to go in as an amateur fighter and beat Mike Tyson in his prime. That's what that is. It's like trying to go in as a first-time fighter and beat Mike Tyson in his prime. I'm talking about 21, 22-year-old Mike. You can't win. I don't care how good you think you are. If this is your first fight, Mike's gonna knock you out in the first round, bro. Even if you run and duck, Mike's gonna knock you out in the first round. So, you know, emotions are they are so fickle, man. Like, people can control you through your emotions. So if you're a man who professes your love for a woman, that woman can control you through that feeling of love that you profess. If you are a man who hates someone, they can control you through that hate. You can be controlled through emotion. You can't be controlled through logic, through logical thought, through logical assessments of situations. There is no control, because logic only has one true response. Every situation, any situation you look at, there's only one logical explanation. There's only one logical circumstance. There's only one way that you can view something from the proper perspective, and everything else is wrong. Everything else is based on something outside of logic. And that's just simply it. We're not talking about, you know, some major occurrence or some profound thing. We're talking about the fact that we as men know that logic is our greatest weapon. Logic is the thing that separates us from women. Now, there are some women who have developed a way to view certain simple things from a logical perspective. But these women have been raised by logical men. They have been around logical men. Their fathers are logical men, their brothers and uncles. And even then, these women still can only view simple things from a logical perspective. When it comes to logic, a woman must be led into logic, period. That is simply what it is. Dan G. Guy says, arguing with a woman is a waste of time. They say something I don't resonate with. I say nothing. Yeah, man, that's it. My punishment for a woman is to put her on timeout. I treat women like children because they act like children a lot. So if she is trying to say incendiary things like a kid, trying to inflame me emotionally, which can't be done, I simply just cut her off. I simply just ignore her. Period. I ignore her, man. If she's at my crib, but I never had that problem at my crib, man. But if I'm at her crib, man, I'll just leave, bro. I'll leave and I'll put her on ice. Let me tell you something, man. Icing a woman is the greatest quick fix tool you can have. The greatest quick fix tool. If you want to just handle something quickly, put her on ice. If a woman is talking crazy on the phone with you, don't even hang up on her. Just tell her, I'm going to talk to you later. Then hang up. Don't give her a chance to respond. See, you're not hanging up on her if you tell her, I'll talk to you later. If you just hang up, you bang it. If you just bang it on her, you bang it on her. That's an emotional response. Don't just bang it on her. Don't just hit the button on her. Don't bang it on her. Just put her on ice. I mean, put her on. When I say put her on ice, freeze her out. Freeze her out. Let her get all emotions. Let her go through all the roller coaster of emotions that they go through. She'll be saying, oh, you're going to act like this? This how you going to act? You blah, blah, blah. She may try to throw some insults in there. Keep her on ice. And then she'll say, I was just playing with you. You don't have to take it like that. God, you could be so. Keep her on ice. Then she says, I'm sorry. She starts apologizing. She thinks that's going to warm the ice. The ice got colder. Keep her on ice. Anytime you put a woman on ice, she must be on ice for at least 24 hours. If you let her off ice with it before 24 hours are up, she's not on ice. She's not on ice. You just dissed her for a while. You have to ice a woman out for at least 24 hours when you put her on ice. So if you put her on ice at 8 p.m. today, you better not talk to her before 9 p.m. tomorrow. And what I believe is if she gets put on ice at night, I'm going to make her wait till that next day. So if I have to put her on ice at 10 o'clock tonight, I'm not going to talk to her at 10 or 11 o'clock tomorrow. I'm going to wake up late to that next morning. I'm going to make her sleep on it 2 nights. If I have to put you on ice late at night, late after 7 p.m., I'm putting you on ice for 2 nights. You're going to sleep on it. You're going to think about it for those 2 nights. You're going to figure out what you could do to make the situation better next time. Yeah, a woman always talking about you. Man, a woman going to always say, well, I'll be honest with you, man. I really never had that problem, bro. And I never had, I've had one woman who said it, but man, she was the one, man, who, man, she couldn't take no wood. But so that was one of those scenarios where she said it because it was just the total opposite of the truth. She felt like there was no other way she could insult me, so she had to insult me with a lie. And, you know, hey, listen, Chuck, sometime, man, banging it on them is, you know, especially if she don't have no time in. If she don't have no time in, but see, me, my reason for not just banging it on them is I believe in not allowing a woman to have any weapon to say that I treated her any kind of way that was bad when I cut her off completely. You see what I'm saying? So a woman can't say I hung up in her face. I did none of that. So I tell her, I'm going to talk to you later. Bam. I want her to remember my words. I want her to remember the words I said. I'll talk to you later. And then I want her to spend her time over that time she's on ice trying to figure out when later is going to come. When is later to me? And so after that, if I don't answer her for a week, when I finally do, like I said, I told you I'll talk to you later. Later is now. You know, I like to leave them with words so they can always understand where I'm coming from. I don't want a woman to have any questions about where I stand on any particular scenario. But I don't knock you for banging it on them, man. Sometimes when they talk, you know what? But I stopped dealing with women who frustrated me so much that I just want to bang it on them. Like, I don't even deal with women like that no more, man. Those women get cut off quick. If I gotta bang it on them, I just cut them off. She is a woman who needs to be cut off. She's gonna be cut off. She doesn't stand a snowball chance in hell, and I'm gonna make it stay that way. That's just how it's going to be. I'm not going to play that game with her. I'm not going to do any of that. I'm going to let her know that this is just what it is. So certain women get cut off. You know, let me tell you something, man. And I'm gonna address Tamara Reese one more time, man. There are men who are in relationships with women who can't even get the amount of support that Tam shows me here. Think about this. There are men who are in relationships with women who can't even get the amount of support that Tam shows me here. Just think about what that means. You are in a relationship with a woman and she is so selfish, so self-centered that she can't even get the amount of support that I get right here from Tam. But he's a beta male, so he won't leave her. He'll give her opportunity after opportunity to prove that she's this selfish woman. I don't know what the hell he's waiting on, but he'll give her opportunity after opportunity to prove this. Yeah. That's real talk, Chuck. When you got to bang it on a man, you have to block him. You have to block him. Man, this is the thing, man. I don't play no games with these women, man. I don't play no games, man. See, I don't play with them. I don't do any of the things that women think they can do, so I don't take it. I feel like if I'm an idiot, then I need to be willing to accept some idiot activity. If I'm a person that like to argue and debate and fuss and fight all the time, then I should be perfectly okay with a woman being that way. But the fact that I'm not any of that means that I will expect the same from her, and I will not settle for less. That is what we have to understand as men, that we cannot settle for less. She wouldn't settle. I did a video on this, man. It's on the channel, man. She wouldn't settle for less, so why should you? Why should you settle for less? She wouldn't. No woman is going to settle for less. They don't settle for less. When it seems like they settle for less, they see a benefit in it that you just can't see. Dan G guys say women appreciate alpha men. They do, bro. They do. Man, they don't appreciate alpha men. Man, they love alpha men. They just know that they're not going to get an alpha man to love them back in that beta way that they want. This is what women want. They want comfort. They want to be comfortable in the fact that they know that this man is not going to leave. They want to know that this man is not going to leave them, that he's going to be there. And that's why they settle for beta males, because the alpha male would never give a woman that type of solidified understanding of his plans to be there. He is not going to guarantee that he's going to be there. That's why alpha men don't marry. Man, listen, an alpha man is going to write his own vows if he does get married. He ain't finna say no shit like for better or for worse, through richer or for poor, through sickness and in health. Man, listen, if you tell a woman for better or for worse, that means that no matter how bad she gets, if she gained 800 pounds, you still gonna be there for better or for worse. If you tell a woman through sickness and in health, that means if she go out and trick off with somebody and get AIDS, which is an illness, then you're gonna stay with her anyway because you said through thickness and health. If you say for rich or poor, if a woman is gambling away all of your damn money, or she has this crazy spending habit and she's affecting you negatively financially, when you make that vow, that means you're gonna stay there. No alpha male is gonna say that, man. You can't guarantee that type of stuff, man. You simply can't. Yeah, that's what I do, Tam. Hey, I'm gonna talk to you later. Bang. That's it. Bang it on him, man. After I say that, I bang it on him. Hey, yo, you know what? Yo. Yeah, you know, I don't even want to talk to you. Bam, I bang it on him. Hey, yo, hold on. Hey, you know what? Let me tell you. I'll talk to you when you understand who you're talking to, because you obviously forgot. Bang. Yeah. Hey, you know what he said? You know who you're talking to? Yeah, I'm talking to bang. No, you don't. You don't remember. And once I bang it, once I say what I got to say and bang it, man, that's ice. It's automatic ice. Man, listen, I don't care if we had a major event going on tomorrow. If we had something that we've been planning for months, you should have thought about that before you said what you said, because your ass need to be on ice, and you'll be going to that event by yourself, or find you a beta male to take with you, because I'm not on. You on ice. When you're on ice, you don't get to see me. You don't get to talk to me. You don't get to be in my alpha presence. You don't get to apologize to me. You don't get to do any of that. You don't get to interact with me when you're on ice. And that's just how it is. When I put you on ice, you're on ice, period. I don't care what you say. You can't beg me to take your ass out the freezer. You can't promise me $1 million to take you out of the freezer, because you being in the freezer is about principle. And my principle, I can't be bought. My morality, my moral fiber, my propensity, my unique propensity to stand on principle can't be bought. So your ass gonna be on ice. And you keep on, if you keep trying to text me and call me, then your ass gonna get freezer burned. Man, tomorrow, what up, bro? No doubt about it, man. Ice will chill them out. Put them on ice, put them on ice. And I am telling you, there is a possibility that the women you meet have never been put on ice before. Think about this. Think about how many beta males are in this world if most of the women you meet have never been put on ice before. Have never been put on ice before. Grown women have never been put on ice before. That's crazy to me, man. It's crazy to me that there are grown women who have never been put on ice. I can't even believe it, man. I can't even believe that. Man Tomorrow says, I make submission a stressful position for those who are not worth it. Yeah, man. No doubt about it. No doubt about it. That's some real alpha male talk right there. I make submission a stressful position for those who are not worth it. Yeah, man. I can't even add into that, bro. That's perfectly worded. Perfectly worded. Chuck Spencer say, I'm going to keep it a buck. The only time I kept one around long I should have, because she had the magical throat. That's that kryptonite. Man, you know what? I'll be honest with you, man. Even then, I guess you could say I keep them around, but I keep them on ice. I keep them on ice, interacting with them just enough where, you know, to when I'm bored or I mean, just for fun, but I can always call and get that mouth. And that's what I'm thinking. You know, I feel like this, man. And this is real talk. That is why it is not logical for a man to consider settling with one woman, because one woman will simply not be willing to do as many things as you need done as an alpha male. You see, what if you've got a woman who doesn't have that magical, who, like Chuck said, that woman who doesn't have that magical throat, that woman who is not, whose head game is not on doctorate level. I'm talking about Dean's list. But she has other great qualities. What do? And she's willing to do everything in her power to be submissive. What do? Do you cut her off because she does not have that valedictorian brain? No. You keep her for what she's worth. And you have another woman who has that valedictorian brain. Nah, man. Simply Deep 1985 said, I seem like the type of dude that would do some revenge type stuff to a chick. Nothing crazy, I will say, but I respect it too much. Nah, man, I wouldn't do no revenge type thing to a chick, man. Now, I'll tell you what I will do. And this is what I do. I did this when I was young, man. You know, it's one of those things where, and women say this all the time about me, they say, man, the way I think, I must have like mommy issues or something. But I'm gonna tell you, man, I never got no love from my mom. So when I was younger, if LeBron was fine as good wine, I'd fuck her then dump her. That was my motto. My motto was find them, get them, crack them, and cut them off. Period. Crack them and cut them off. That's it. So that's how my younger years were. My younger years were find them, crack them, cut them off. That's it. That's all I could do. You know, and I didn't have anything else to think about. So, you know, it's one of those things where that's just how I did, man. I did that all throughout my 20s, man. Like when I say knocking them down, man, I found them, I cracked them, and I cut them off, man. A lot of times, man, these women, I only cracked them once. Man, I put them on ice. I left them lovesick with no way to get in touch with me, man. That's just how my game has always been, man. I've always been the type to view a woman for what she's worth. I never pedestalized them, but I also don't undervalue a woman who does have value. You know, there are women who have value. Any man who says that there just aren't any women who have value, they're lying, man. There are women who have value. So, you know, it's one of those things where I don't undervalue women, but I damn sure don't overvalue women. And that is how it is. Like a woman has to prove herself worthy is what she has to do. And so when I put on ice, when I put them on ice, that's her opportunity to prove to me that she can overcome obstacles, that she's willing to accept her wrongdoing, admit it, own up to it, and correct it. That's her opportunity to show me that. That right there wins her blackie points with me. You know, other people call them brownie points, but I call them blackie points because I'm a dark-skinned brother. So that gives her opportunity to earn some blackie points with me. If she can prove to me that she can figure out what she's done, accept it, and be willing to rectify the situation. Nah, man, I don't even try. I wouldn't even try to embarrass him, man. I wouldn't even try to embarrass him, man. I know it kind of seems like I could be into that, man, but I wouldn't do anything like that, man. When I was younger, I did. I ain't gonna lie. So you might be seeing the remnants of that. Yeah, when I was younger, I would, man. Let me see. Keontae Perkins said, "How do you feel about having more than one woman in the same household with you?" That's what I'm looking to do, bro. I'm looking to have 2 or 3 women in the household with me. That's the only way women gonna be in the household, man. It's gonna have to be 2 or 3, at least 2. So yeah, at least 2, man. You know that's it. You know, if I can, you know, the thing is, man, they're gonna have to be compatible and with one another. They don't have to be compatible with me. They're gonna have to be compatible with one another, and they're both gonna have to have a certain level of self-confidence. They're both gonna have to be confident enough to know that they don't have to worry about me cutting one arm off for the other one. They're both gonna be there because I need both of them there. I want both of them there. So, you know, it's one of those things where I truly believe that. Oh yeah, sure, no doubt. I do believe we do that, man. I do believe we do that. That like I don't refer to all women as women. I use broad a lot. Like broad is my go-to word. When I call a woman, it's because she has proven herself to be a woman. She has, and by proving herself to be a woman, it doesn't matter what her credentials are. It doesn't matter what she's accomplished in her career. It doesn't matter how educated she is. It doesn't matter any of that. By being a woman, she knows her place in the presence of an alpha male, and the foolishness, the foolish chatter from outside doesn't influence her to not give in or not submit to that natural occurring submission in her body, in her mind, in her heart, in her soul. That's the thing, man. So that's a woman. A woman, by definition, is her who fits into the scenario as the helpmeet of the man. That's why woman was made. Woman was made for a reason. And a woman who doesn't fit into that and doesn't accept that role is not a woman at all. She's just a female. So yeah, no doubt about that, Chuck. I truly believe that we do validate women with titles that they don't deserve. Even before we get to queen, we validate them before we get to that word queen. DeRay Vicious, what up, homie? We get to the point where we believe that just because she's a woman. And then it goes further than that, where we get to the point we just believe because she is a woman, she's a queen. And then we get to the point that, she is to be cherished. Or then you get these busters every time, man, woman is God. These niggas be talking about the black woman is God. Man, let me tell you something. If the black woman is God, I'm an atheist. Because I'm not finna worship no woman. Period. So, you know, that's just my outlook on it, man. And I ain't trying to say that, yeah, I am saying that, man. I'm saying that women are inferior to me as a man. That's just how it is. Period. All right, home, I see you in here. Man, I don't even know how to say. I'm just gonna say all the letters, man. GHXST, GXD. Good to see you, home. Good to see you. Hadn't seen you since the stream with Ram, man. Good to see you in here, bro. No doubt. So, yeah, man. A lot of us do use the term out of pocket, man. It's kind of like it's almost like not every male you see, even if he's an adult male, should be referred to as a man. But we're a lot quicker to adjust that than we are to adjust our propensity to refer to every single female that's an adult as a woman. Like, and we also attach the societal definitions of what a woman should be to our understanding of what a woman is. So we'll take a woman who's paying her own bills and she's doing this and she's doing that, and we'll say that makes her a woman. No, that makes her a responsible adult. That doesn't make her a woman. Woman has a distinct definition. And it has nothing to do with all of these external things. It has a distinct definition. Woman was created for a purpose. And any woman who doesn't live up to that purpose, doesn't live up to a woman who shuns her responsibility to be a helpmeet to the man that is in her life, to the man who is her leader, to the man who is her guide, then she is simply not a woman. She is, when a woman shuns her purpose for being here, how worthy is she when she shuns her basic purpose for being here? How much of a woman, how valuable is she? You know, it's kind of like if you got a dog that just sit in the crib, and I saw a story on this, man. People had some robbers broke in a family house, man. The dog just sat on the sofa and watched them take everything. Joker didn't bark, didn't bite, didn't do nothing. Just sat there and watched him rob the house. How valuable is that dog? You know what I'm saying? Even if you ain't gonna bite, bark, keep up some noise, make the neighbors figure something's going on. But that's just, you know, that's the state we live in, man. The state we live in right now is that men are being told that every woman, every female is a woman. Every woman is a queen. And the black queen is God. That is what we're being told. And there are groups of men who've been told that so much. They grew up in a single parent household, their single mother, sisters around, aunts around, you know, the women at the church, the teachers at the school, that they've been totally brainwashed into believing that when you view someone else as God, do you know how far we are away from the superiority of God? So if you say the black woman is God, what does that make you as a black man? How low on that totem pole are you putting yourself when you accept that? What are you saying to yourself when you say that? What are you saying about yourself when you say that? You know, it is simply, it's really more about us as red pill, alpha, Ilmore, true masculine men saying that this is the way life will be for me. If 20 men say this is the way the life is going to be for me, my way or no way, that's 20 fewer men who are ever going to succumb to that beta male manginitis. Beta-itis is a real illness, man, and it's affecting this society in, you know, innumerable ways. There are ways you can't even count that beta-itis is affecting this society because all of them don't affect us directly. Yeah, Chuck Spencer said that's why we must know our mission so that she can be in submission to our mission. If you know who you are as a man, you know that what doesn't align with truth. You know what doesn't align with your mission. That is the point where most men decide that they're going to be beta or they're going to stay on their mission and be a man. That's the point. That is the simple point where you get to the point where you're on your mission and you start to value a woman so much based on that stuff that society tells you that you do not even think about, even consider how this woman is affecting your mission. How does she align with your life? If she doesn't align with your life when you meet her, which is possible, how much is she willing to align herself with your life? How much value is she willing to put on the things that matter to you on your mission? How much of herself is she willing to give to the success of that mission? In this society, if you run into 50 women, 35 to 40 of those women are not going to be willing to give up anything that they're pursuing in order to be a helpmeet to you. And they're in a situation where this society perpetuates, especially these beta males, are telling them that they shouldn't. They shouldn't be in that situation. They shouldn't be willing to be a helpmeet, which is their basic purpose. Tamara Cooper, what up? Good to see you in here. I was up, Babies Down for sure. You know, so Inspector Zero, the Inspector 00, what up, homie? Yeah, when they said black woman in the sky, man, they're actually saying she is the original, is figuratively speaking. They need to figure out another way to say it then, man. I don't like the way it sounds. You know, and technically speaking, I mean, you know, is she truly the original? You know, it's one of those things, man, where, you know, I think, well, you know what? Now, some of these brothers mean, man, that she's God, man, that she's to be uplifted above all else on earth. And I ain't buying into that, man. That ain't how I get down, man. I ain't buying into that. To me, that's foolishness, man. So, you know, for the ones who mean that, if we mean it figuratively, well, yeah, she's blah, 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 then cool, man. I can see where they're coming from. But some of these brothers, man, be mean to, man, that the black woman is God. I'm talking about like, she's to be uplifted above man himself. And I've heard them say that out of my own, with their own mouth, man, that, you know, that the black man should revere the black woman. You know what reverence means? Reverence means uplift. If you revere something, you uplift it. You bow down to it. I'm not doing that, man. I tell you, man, if the black woman is God, I'm an atheist. Chuck Spencer say, my great-grandfather told me before he passed that any and everything that happens to a man is his fault. Man, I did a video on that. It's one of my older uploads, man. I can't remember what it's called. Every single thing that happens in your life is based on the decision you made. It doesn't matter if the decision was misinformed, if you got bad information or bad guidance from someone and you made that decision. Every single thing that is affecting you in your life is based on a decision, can ultimately be traced to a decision you made. I don't care. If you got divorced and got half of your stuff taken, it's your fault. You are the one. And it's not like you're in the 50s. You are the one who in this day and age thought it was a good idea to marry some woman. So when half of your stuff got taken, you didn't have to blame. She's not to blame. She did what women do. She did what the marriage laws are created, are set up, have been changed to allow women to do. You can't blame her. You have to say that you are the reason that happened to you. There are plenty of men in prison right now. There are some who committed a crime and there are some who are doing time for somebody else. I'm telling you, if you're in prison, there are some men who are in there simply because they were being convicted of crimes that they didn't commit. But for the overwhelming majority of men in prison, you made a decision to do something that broke the law, and your punishment was to be in prison. Or you took another man's time like a broad, like a female, like an in-love woman would do for the man she loves, and you're in prison now because you chose to be more loyal to some dude or loyal to some idiotic hood code than you are to yourself, than you are to your own family, than you are to your own children, than you are to your own future. Ah, homie, what up, what up, what up, South Chief? I guess I'm saying that right, man. That's how I say it. That's how I read it every time I see it, man. So, you know what I'm talking about, man. I hope I'm saying it right. But yeah, you have to understand, man, that every single thing that happens to you in your life is based on the decision you made, man. Period. Whether good or bad, whatever happens to you is based on your own decision-making process. If you've got a woman that's taking advantage of you, that's treating you terribly, it's because you made the decision to not only have that woman, but to stay with that woman. If you're in a situation where your homies don't appreciate you, they don't, they don't do anything. They simply use you in your presence. You're their Uber driver. You're their designated driver when they're drinking. You're the butt of their jokes. Then it is your decision to keep that group of friends around you. All of these things are based on decisions that you have made yourself. No one, and I do mean no one, is responsible for the things that happen to you in your life, because you're a man and you have the right, you have the ability to make a decision to the left or right, yay or nay. It is all on you. And when you make a wrong decision, you have the right to immediately do everything in your power to change it. The problem is most men are stuck in their ways. Most men are stuck in their understanding of how things should be in their life. Most men are stuck in this idiotic belief that as a man, you're just supposed to take it. You're not supposed to be affected negatively by your decisions. You're not supposed to change course. As a man, you can't change your mind. You got to be a man of your word. If you say something, you're going to say you're going to do something, even if you find out it was an idiot statement that you should have never made it, you still should do it, because you got to be a man of your word. You got to stick to what you said you were going to do. Who else is held to that type of pressure? Women are never held to that type of foolishness. No one ever says to a woman, because you made a decision to do this, you have to do it. Because you made a decision to get pregnant, then you better not have an abortion. You better not give your child up for adoption. Because you made a decision to drop out of school, you better not try to get, any social support from any of these, these social systems. You better not try to get these social programs. You better not try to get any support from these social programs. You better not do any of that. Oh, because you made the decision to have a child with this man who you already knew wasn't nothing, wasn't going to help, wasn't going to do nothing, then, you don't have the right. You shouldn't go get child support. You shouldn't do any of that. You should just, be who you are. That's just what you got to do. What you have to do, man, is Chuck Spencer just said, you have to surround yourself with powerful, purposeful people. True. And you also have to surround yourself with people who want to see you win. That's the most important thing. If you surround yourself with powerful, purposeful people, those people need to want to see you win. Because no matter if weak people, if unpowerful people who have no purpose can throw a monkey wrench into your plan, how much more of a detriment, how much more of an obstacle can powerful, purposeful people be who don't want to see you win? You have to make sure that you are a winner. Your mindset has to be that of a winner. So when you surround yourself with those powerful and purposeful people, they want you to win because you look like a winner. If you look like a winner, people want you to win because you look like you should win. You're not a loser. You don't look like you should be the one to achieve whatever it is you're attempting to achieve. And that is the mindset that we must hold on to as men. We have to be this. We have to hold on to the things that we believe, man. We have to stand on the principles that made us who we are. Because the only way to stay the way you are is to keep holding on to the principles that got you where you are. And none of those principles is being beta. None of those principles is being weak. None of those principles is being submissive. None of those principles is being an idiot, surrounding yourself with people who don't mean you any good. None of those things means that you will prize relationships over your life. Your life is all you have. Put a gun in your head and pull the trigger. That shit is over. Go out here and do something dumb and end up getting life in prison. Shit is over. If you notice, you took your life in the first scenario, they gave you life in the second scenario, life in prison. If you do not believe anything else, you had better always prize yourself above all else. I don't care who it is. If you got to pick between you and your mama, you better pick yourself. Because if you pick your mama and you dead, it ain't gonna matter to you if your mama okay. You have got to wrap your mind around the concept that you are the most important thing in your life. Even if you have a child, you cannot put your child before you. You can have another child. Your child can't have another you. So I ask this question sometime, man, and I get mixed answers. But someone asked me this a long time ago. They asked me, what would I do if I've got 2 children? One of them falls in alligator-infested waters. We're in a boat fishing. They know I like to fish. They say, one of your children falls in alligator-infested waters. But you got another child right here, still in the boat with you, panicking, upset, crying. What do? Do you dive in the water, in the alligator-infested water, and attempt to save the child that's already in the water? Or do you stay in the boat and comfort the child and make sure you save the one child that's not already in alligator-infested water and probably going to get their ass ate up already? I thought about it. And I said, you know what, man? Me, myself, I'm staying right here in the boat with the child that's already in the boat with me. Because if I dive into that water and the child that's in the water gets eaten by the alligators and my ass gets eaten by the alligators too, I've got a child sitting in a boat by themselves who has no idea how to get out of that water, who's just saw their dad. It's one thing to lose your sibling, but if you're a child, your dad's your superhero. Your sibling is just the little person that you play with. Your dad is your superhero. So how do I go in there and allow my child that's still in the boat to watch his playmate die, which is bad, but then watch his superhero die, and then he's stuck there in a boat by himself dealing with it? Instantly, my answer is quick. The child in the boat is going to be saved. The child that's in the water, it's going to be a sad, probably closed casket funeral. We may not even find the body. But that is the type of decision that you must be willing to make quickly. Self-preservation is not the number 1 law of the land. It is the number 1 alpha law. If you do not preserve yourself, the world doesn't matter to you anymore. It doesn't matter what goes on in the world if you die. The world is over for you. Self-preservation is the number 1 alpha law of the land. And as an alpha male, you must stick to that law. You must uphold that law. You must let all the people around you and everyone who knows you understand that that is your outlook. You will preserve yourself over everything else. Chuck Spencer said, bro, you and Ram always make sure my shoelaces are tied tight in the mud. Appreciate you, bro, for real. Hey, man, I appreciate that, Chuck. I really do, man. I appreciate the vote of confidence, man. I appreciate you coming through, bro. You ain't had a chance to get in these streams, man. I appreciate you coming through in this stream, man. Chair Marie says, if someone disrespect you and don't appreciate you, please get rid of the quickness. Man, let me tell you something. Both of those things don't even have to happen. If someone disrespects you, they don't appreciate you. If someone doesn't appreciate you, they don't respect you. So you only need one of those things to take place. Don't wait for both of them to take place. The moment someone disrespects you, and I don't mean, there's little things, there are people who grew up in environments that they talk to people a certain way. So you can look at that as disrespect, or you can get them an opportunity to fix it. Me, myself, if you grew up in an environment where disrespect is just a commonplace, it's something you do to each other, you just disrespect each other all the time, talk crazy to one another, you're not a person I want to be around. I don't want to have to wean you off of that. I don't want to have to teach you. If I have to teach you basic human respect, then you're a child. And I don't want to teach an adult child anything. I can't respect the intellect of an adult child. I really can't. So, it's when you think about things from the proper perspective. Dan the G guy has a random question. You're running. I got a random question for you, but I think the listeners should hear the answer, including myself. All right, go ahead, shoot, man. Let's see what you got, Dan the G guy. It's Dan the G guy says, when you took the vow to Nazarite, how did it change you as a person? Did it change your life forever? Man, when I took the vow to Nazarite, man, it completely changed my life. I was in another world, man. Like I was in another world, man. I meditated every single day in the word of the Most High. I separated myself from the world. I didn't take part in any events. I literally was a hermit for 17 months. For 17 months, when I say a hermit, I was a hermit. People that knew me thought I had got locked up. That's how I fell off the grid. I was literally off the grid. There were a couple of people that I reached out to who knew where I worked. And these were just some leftover business arrangements I had, man, that had to be fulfilled because they were contractually obligated. But other than that, man, people didn't even know where to find me. And yeah, I avoided technology and media, everything, man, everything. I cut my cell phone off, man. When I say cut off, I canceled the service. Everything, man. I literally cut myself off from the world. And what it did, man, it was the most introspective time of my life because every day, all I had was my thoughts. Every day. And the way the word of the Most High was opening my mind up. The way I was starting to get in touch with my spiritual being, man, it took me to a level spiritually that I was so high that even though since then I've had times where I've become less spiritually intact, I still would never fall back to where I was. I got too high spiritually to ever fall back to where I was. So yeah, it changed my life completely, man. I mean, it taught me who I was. You know, it taught me who I was. I wouldn't know who I am. I wouldn't know the power that I possess just from being a direct descendant of the children of Israel, for being, you know, for being reverenced, for being reverenced as chosen by the Most High. I would never, man. Oh yeah, Chuck, man. It was but you know what, man? It was enlightening because I was learning the word of the Most High. And this is it's an amazing thing to learn when you understand that all of this talk to the children of Israel is to your ancestors. If you're just someone who's learning it and you're not a part of the children of Israel, you're just learning some words. But the spiritual empowerment that he gave me to be realizing that I'm a direct descendant of the children of Israel, and all of this applies to me. And as I started applying it to my life, that's the thing. I started changing my life. All of the things I was doing that the word of the Most High said don't do, I started instantly changing my life. And one of the first things I came across was changing how I eat. All the things I was eating that were foul, the first major change I made was the things I was eating. And I started honoring the Sabbath day. So on the seventh day, I rest. That's what I do. I don't care if it's an emergency. Somebody can be dead. And before the sun go down, I ain't coming out. I'll see you when the sun come down. I ain't coming out. I ain't got time. I just Sabbath day and I got to honor it. That's what I do. So, you know, it was a great journey, man. I really enjoyed it, man. It was, you know, it was great, man. I can't complain about it. Let me put this link back up here, man, because I don't see nobody, man, went over there and ain't got them straight yet, man. When I did that, man, I was just coming out of hustling. You know what I'm saying? Now the first thing I changed, man, was I stopped selling poison to my people. You know, that was I was doing that, man. And I was hey man, I was getting it, man. I was balling, man. I ain't gonna even lie. So I had no money to just sustain, man. But then my lifestyle was changing, so I was becoming more frugal as well. So I wasn't pissing through my money like I had before. So I had a few chips stacked up, man. I was okay. You know what I'm saying? That's all I was doing with hustling. But on the back end of that, that's when I went to school, man. Like I didn't go to college, man, until I was 25. You know what I'm saying? I hustled. You know, man, I don't have a definition of fornication, man. You know what I'm saying? Like fornication is not a word that I use, but I can come to one, man. I think you know, fornication. I think fornication is probably I don't really know, man, because I don't look at fornication as premarital sex, man, because I don't think a man can have premarital sex. I think sex was intended to consecrate marriage. I think our view on sex is what changed that from being a valuable commodity. But sex is you know, it's supposed to consecrate marriage, man. You know, so you know, so and I've seen in the New Testament in some ways fornication applies to when you're married, or it applies to, you know, when you're single. It applies. I don't really know, man, because I don't view sex the way that everyone else views it. I think sex was intended to consecrate marriage. I don't think men should be out here having random sex with random women, because technically speaking, when you have sex with a woman, she becomes your wife. And how many wives do you want? Like that's why I say you should only be engaged with quality women. If you can't view a woman as a wife, then, you know, what's the purpose, man? What's the purpose? You know, what are you doing? You're selling yourself short. You're making yourself a peasant. You can't be a godly man. You can't be a king and live a life of a peasant. You can't do it. Chuck's gonna say, what's your view on Table of Nations, Shem or Ham? I don't have one, bro. I don't. When you say Table of Nations, you're gonna have to clarify that for me, man. Is that some, you know, what exactly is the Table of Nations? Like Shem or Ham? Only nation I view, man, is the children of Israel. The nation of Israel, the Israelites, the 12 tribes. Nothing else matters to me. I don't even view anything else as a nation. I don't respect any other nation. The only thing I view, man, is the children of Israel, the 12 sons of Israel. The 12 sons of Jacob, man, that's it. That's all I ever cared about. I don't. So it's but just tell me what that means, man. Well, see, I think adultery. I never view adultery and fornication as I never view adultery as fornication. I always view fornication as something different from adultery because they're always mentioned separately. Homosexuality, like these things were spoken of in the Old Testament, and they weren't called fornication. So when I get into the New Testament, a lot of the words that are trying to be applied to things that were already spoken of, I don't use those words. That's why I don't use fornication. Like in the Old Testament, all of these things were spoken of separately. Homosexuality, adultery, all of these things were referred to as what they are. You know, a man shall not sleep with mankind. A man shall not lie with mankind like he lied with a woman, for it is an abomination. Both of them shall surely be put to death. That's covering homosexuality, period. That's telling you what it is. It's referring to it, period. If a man be found with another man's wife, they shall both surely be put to death. If you know, that's just how it is. Even with rape, if a damsel, if a man take a damsel and she cries out and no one comes to help her, then the man shall surely be put to death. If she cries out and no one come to help her, then the man shall marry her. He shall take her. He shall marry her. He shall never be able to put her away. Like she shall be his wife forever. He can't even divorce her. All of these things were covered, man. All sexual immoralities. A man shall not uncover the nakedness of his mother, because that is his father's nakedness. A man shall not uncover the nakedness of his father's sister, because she is his father's close kin. A man shall not uncover the nakedness of his sister, the daughter of his mother, or the daughter of his father, because she is his close kin. Any type of sexual morality that you could think of has been covered. And I just don't go into the New Testament and start trying to figure out how to apply it to the Old Testament, because all it simply is rehashing the Old Testament. So, you know, I read it for what it's worth. And, you know, I don't allow the new terminologies to take away from my use of the old terminologies. I believe that what was said first is what was meant to be. If the New Testament was contrary to the Old Testament, I would stop reading the New Testament. I would totally cut the New Testament off if it was contrary to the Old Testament. Period. And yeah, I truly believe that, man. I truly believe that you are married to women that you sleep with. I truly believe, you know what? That, you know, we always talk about how you get that gene pool exchange, how you start to take pieces of that woman into your being, into your DNA, and all of the men she's been with before, you take them into your DNA, and it just becomes a part of you. That's why, because you're not intended to just be out here randomly sleeping with women. It's not intended for us. For the rest of the world, maybe. But for the children of the Most High, for the chosen people of the Most High, we are held to a higher regard than the other people on the planet. That is how we have been told to be, expected to be. I don't think you can cut them off, bro. I mean, we do. We just go have random sex with women, so we cut them off all the time. But you can't cut them out of your being. You can't get rid of that. That DNA exchange is imprinted on you just like it's imprinted on them. You can't get it out of your system. It's on you. It's in you. It's a part of your character makeup. So that is why, like, I was supposed to come out. Listen, man, I was supposed to come out my vow. I was supposed to come out my abstinence journey last week. I think I'm just gonna stick it out, man. These women ain't worth that. These women ain't worth me just coming off, knocking down some random chick to say, hey, I'm not abstinent anymore, man. Hey, I've been abstinent all these months, man. Why be in a big rush to come off for some random chick who I could never even possibly view as anything close to wifey? I'll just wait, man. I may go another 6 months. I may go another 6 months. I'm not against going another 6 months. Okay, yeah. The youngest son of Noah. Okay. You know, man, like I really don't go back to that because when I start respecting the children of Israel, I only respected from the time that God came to Moses and told him that he was going to lead the people out, because before that, yeah, he had told Abraham that you were going to be the father of all nations. But he didn't start interacting with that people that way until the time of Moses. And so, you know, my whole acceptance of being an Israelite didn't come to after that. You know, once I saw that, then I realized that there are certain things, man, like is it Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 30, or chapter 30 verse 28. One or the other, I have to look it up. As a matter of fact, give me a second, man. Let me look this up. I know this, man, but I just don't. Let's see. Give me a second here, man. Give me a second. Okay. I think I covered this before. When it says, it's simple like this: and the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships. By the way, whereof I spake unto thee, thou shalt see it no more again, and there you shall be sold unto your enemies for bondmen and bondwomen. So people say, well, this ain't Egypt. This ain't Egypt. You got to learn the history of this country. And then secondly, Egypt doesn't mean the country of Egypt. It means into the situation, the bondage situation, being enslaved like you were in Egypt. That's what that means. So when it comes to things like that, you know exactly who's being spoken of, because no other race of people has been delivered into bondage by ship. That's all us right there. Yeah, that's true, man. That's true, man. Women ain't worth it, man. Like this is a strong. How much strength does this represent for me to tell you guys, man? I've been abstinent for 6 months. When I say abstinent, I'm talking about abstinent. I'm talking about what do you call it? No fat. I'm talking about abstinent. When I say I've been abstinent for 6 months and I may be abstinent for 6 more, no one can tell me that doesn't represent strength. In a society where I'm alpha and women are throwing themselves at me constantly, I could pick a one. Listen, man, I could jump clean right now, go out somewhere, pick up a woman and bring her home and knock her down if I wanted to. I can do that. There's a debate in the community of black folks are the children of Shem or Ham. I don't know, man. You know what? I'm looking into that, man. I'm gonna research some information on that, man. I have an outlook on that for you here pretty soon, Chuck Spencer. Matter of fact, let me I don't really have nothing to write on, man. Let me make a note right quick. Okay. Make a note right quick, man. All right, today is March 2nd, 2018. Note to self: do some research on Shem and Ham and attempt to determine which is the ancestor of black folks. I mean, well, when you really think about it logically, though, man, as I was saying that, I thought about it and I realized that both of these are brothers, man. They're brothers. So I think rather than worry about which one of those we're a descendant of Noah. I don't understand what the debate is between the two sons, because I mean, they're both his sons. He's the father. It's kind of like, it's almost equivalent of trying to see which tribe you come from, which one of the 12 tribes you come from, which is understandable. But either way, no matter which one of the 12 tribes you come from, you're just finding out your direct lineage. It doesn't change the fact that you're children of Israel. Dan G. God said, and also do research on semen preservation and life expectancy. Yeah, you said something about that before, man. Let me same day, March 2nd, 2018, do some research on semen preservation and its relation to life expectancy. And that's Dan the G. God's request. All right. So, man, we're just in a state now where everything that we believe, everything that we think, everything that we say is based on somebody else's outlook. Yo, man, go to the site, man. Get your shirts, man. The shirts are there. Dan the G. God grabbed them. Of course, Tamara grabbed them. A couple more people grabbed them, man. I have, let's see, I've got no mediums left, no smalls left. I've got, I hadn't sold an extra large yet. I've got 4 large and I got quite a few extra large yet. I'm almost thinking, man, I shouldn't have bought the extra large, and the extra large are more expensive. I do need to get a 2X, 3X for the homie. Homie said he needs 3X. So, man, it's just one of those things where, I've been on here for a minute. I'm going to wrap this thing up, man. Probably at 9. Dark Force 73. What up? I'm from the Bay, homie. What up? Good to see you in the stream, bro. Good to see you in the stream. So, man, I really believe that until you know your own history, man, then you're spinning your wheels. Until you know your own history, you're basically spinning your wheels. It is your job to know where you come from. It is your job to know what your lineage is, because you never know, man. You could trace yourself back to Mansa Musa. You never know. You never know who you can trace yourself back to. And, it seems that we as black folks are the only ones who really don't know our history beyond slavery. You ask black folks, man, what their history is, man, most black folk can't tell you where they come from beyond slavery, man. But, prior to slavery, that's all they know. They just know about being slaves, man. They don't know nothing else. And, that's a sad state of existence, man, to not have any idea of what your damn lineage is or what your people's history is beyond the worst travesty, in history. That's crazy to me, man. So, I just say, man, J Apathy Meadows, what up? Yo, man, donate to the PayPal link if you feel froggish. Jump on over there and do that. I guess, man, my outlook on everything is that I don't know how much longer I got here. You don't know how much longer you've got here. I know that I can't afford to waste time on shit that doesn't really matter to me. I can't afford to waste time on things that I don't value. And I won't waste time on anything that I don't value, period. I never will. I mean, because it wasn't necessarily speaking about Egypt, man. And what you'll do, man, is if you trace the history of America, man, you'll see that some of the wealth of ancient Egypt, man, was brought over here to this country. You'll see that Also, if you look into the Eye of the Horus, man, you'll see on the back of the dollar bill, the Egyptian pyramid on the back of the dollar bill means something. Now, I'm not going to necessarily get into that on this live stream because that's really that's type of information, man, that, to get the alphabet boys kind of listening to you, man, just to see where you are. But yeah, man, it's a lot deeper than what you think. As it goes to, if you notice, man, this world has been built on civilizations being built up and civilizations being destroyed, and then the wealth from those civilizations being taken to other civilizations and building them up. It happened to Germany, happened to Egypt, happened to ancient Egypt, what we're talking about right now, happened to Germany, happened to Japan once, and it's looking like, the way things are going, it's looking like the U.S. might be the next big civilization to be destroyed. You know what? It's really not impossible, man. You have to dig deep. You have to dig deep, man. It takes oodles of research, man. You have to really dig deep. You have to be able to. You have to go to like historical accounts. You got to go to museums, man. You got to go to first. You go to the slavery museums. You got to trace your history back to slavery. You got to find out who your ancestors were, what plantation they were on, when they were bought, where they were bought. These are the things you have to find out before you can trace your history back to Africa. You got to find out what slaves you're from. You know what I'm saying? Those slaves are the people who were dropped off over here. So you have to find that. Yeah, that's the ticket channel, Maurice. It'll definitely give you some enlightenment. You know what I'm saying? I got my mind. I got my eye on. I think I know who I'm dropping out on. If you get a chance, check this video out on YouTube. BOA search Origin of Christianity. You know what I mean? I'm gonna check that out, bro. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna say that. I'm gonna get that, man. I'm gonna copy that and save it to my Google Docs. That's good looking out, man. Good piece of info, man. I'm gonna say that to my Google Docs, man. And yeah, then you got to find out the tribes after you find out what slaves you come from. You got to find out the tribes, what tribes were dropped off here, what tribes were dropped off in it. Because some of the slaves, man, just stayed in the West Indies. Some of the slaves are in the Caribbean. They never made it here. They just got dropped off in the Caribbean, and those are the Jamaicans and the West Indians and the freaking the Haitians, and like these are people that just got dropped off and they never made it to the US, but they weren't. It's not like they were living in lap of luxury in those places. Jamaica is one of those places that got a pretty good stronghold. I think the children of Benjamin is who were dropped off, and I was researching this stuff a while back, man. And the children of Benjamin are the ones that are dropped off in Jamaica, man. They didn't suffer quite the fate that the other tribes suffered, man. They found grace in the Lord's sight. You can't be all the tribes, so what's the point? Yeah, you can't be all the tribes, man. I mean, the point is, man, just to know, bro. Other people know their history. I think we should know our history. If you don't know where you're from, then you don't know where you're at, man. You're like, this is the thing. If you knew what your history was and what type of wealth and success and creativity that you came from, you view yourself in a higher esteem. You wouldn't feel like the little bit of shit that black folks is accomplishing is great. It's something to be proud of when you realize our history and the things that our people have done in this society, in this world, in the history of this world. So for me, man, it's just worth knowing. All right, Tamarise, it's past your bedtime, girl. You gotta. Oh, now it's the weekend. You can stay up a little bit long. Stay up a little bit long. You ain't gotta go to bed right now. I'll let you stay up a little bit longer tonight. So basically, man, that's it, Salchi. The point is to know where you're from, man. To be able to say, this is who I'm from. This is what my people have done. Yeah, black men built this country, but there are other countries that black men built. There are other civilizations that were built by black men. Look up Mansu Musa. Widely considered the richest man to ever live. He was an African king. There are several cultures several non-black cultures that were built because of his generosity and his business acumen in creating a fucking ant farm of business opportunities out of his kingdom based on the propensity of gold, well, based on the availability of gold there. Because, man, I mean, that's what they do. Why the Europeans don't want you, they don't want you to know who you are. If you know who you are, then you'll change. If you know where you're from, you'll change who you are. If you know the stock that you come from, you'll uplift yourself and upgrade your outlook on yourself right now. So, I mean, that's the thing, man. Like, and that's why I say we have to search it ourselves. You can't go to another people and ask them what your history is and think you're gonna get honest answers. That makes no sense. It makes no sense. And of course, once we got over here slaves, of course we're savages. They took the strongest. They only wanted the strongest in order to come over here. They wanted the strongest. So yeah, of course you're gonna be savage. You take me from my land, man, and try to make me a animal. Yeah, I'm gonna be savage. I want to be free. That DNA test, man, I don't really buy into it. They can tell you anything. I don't really buy into it. You know, I don't really buy into it, man. I mean, you could try, man, but I don't really buy into it. I need to see the historical data. I need to see who was dropped off in the United States or in the West Indies at this time. I need to go trace back and see and go see what plantations in the South had my last name. Because all of us, the majority of us who were born in the United States, our last name is the name of a slave owner. There was a plantation. If your last name is Williams, your people were on the Williams plantation. That's how you got your last name. Every slave on the Williams plantation got the last name Williams. That's a Williams boy. That's a Williams gal. Whatever your first name was, whether they call you Boo Boo the Fool, your name was Boo Boo the Fool Williams. So, you know, you have to go and find the data that supports your being. So, you know, that's about it, man. That's you know, that's it in a nutshell, man. You know, I'm gonna go over here in the comments for a minute, man, because I'm gonna get ready to close this thing out in a minute here, man. I think I'm gonna come on tomorrow, man. Saturday's kind of tricky. There ain't really a lot of traffic on YouTube on Saturdays, man. So I'll probably come on anyway, man, and I'll do a live stream, man. Maybe about I don't know if I should do one early in the morning, man, or later. Yeah, your mother got a last name from plantation too, man. All black folks originated on plantations, man. Well, you know, what the majority. Like someone said, man. Who said that, man? Black folks are already here before slavery. Yeah, there were actually a couple of black slave owners, man. If you really search the history of it. You know, yeah, your mother's last name. I mean, your mother, your father, whoever last name, man, like they were on plantation too. You know, so I think I'm gonna come on, man. Maybe at about 12 tomorrow, man. I don't want to come on too early, man, but then I don't want to come on too late while everybody out getting it up either, man. I tell you what, man, I'll come on at 11 tomorrow. I'm gonna come on at 11 a.m. That way, while you're getting up, after you get through sleeping in, you getting up, getting ready to go about your day, man, you can listen to this live stream while you're going. Then you can go out and take care of your business, man, and enjoy the rest of your night. And then I'll come back on Sunday as well. I'm starting to really get into these live streams, man, to where I gotta start creating regular content though, man. But these live streams, man, I love these live streams, man. They kill it. Get to just come in here and chop it up, man. And I like this. I like the format. I like to just be able to come in here and talk, man. And I like to be able to interact with you guys live. That's the thing about this, man. Get to interact with you guys live. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, man. You use the last name, but your last name is going to lead you to a slave plantation. If you were born in America and your last name the history of your last name throughout the generations started from a slave plantation, because Africans didn't come over here with names like Williams and Jones and Spencer and Harris, and we didn't come over here with names like that. All of these names come from slave plantations. So you got to take your last name and trace it back to the slave plantation that was named that. So if your name is Jones, then you got to go back to and go to all the plantations and see where the Jones plantations were. You got to see, it's easy to do. You eliminate all the plantations that aren't Jones plantations. So while you're doing that, you trace your history back through your great-grandparents and your great-great-grandparents and see if that is the name that stuck or if that name changed somewhere along the way. As long as that name traces back to slavery, you can go to a plantation and eliminate all the plantations except the Jones plantations. Figure out the Jones plantations. And that's your starting point. You figure out what you can go back and trace to your ancestor, your last ancestor who was a slave. Just go back and find your last ancestor who was a slave. Most black folk have it in a Bible somewhere tied up. So, it's one of those things. So, and you work on weekend time, get that money, girl, get that money. Go get it. See, Chuck Spencer says, I'm from the tribe of Killmonger Spencer. He looked it up, 100% facts. This stuff ain't hard to find, man. I look at it like this. As much effort as we put in to find some shit that we're looking for online, or if we need something for our house, we look hard for it, we'll go walk around a damn Home Depot all day and then go to a Walmart and then go to somewhere else. I feel like, man, this is worth that same type of effort and energy. Finding out who you are and where you're from, man. There's no more pertinent information in your life, because that can determine, it can help you determine what you're worth to yourself, not to other folks. It can help you determine what you're worth to yourself. So, X-Man has to say the biggest baiters are cops, lawyers, and judges. Yeah, I also know some alpha lawyers, man. I know some alpha judges. I ain't gonna say, I know some who aren't baiters. I know some cops, lawyers, and judges, man, who are real stand-up men. I know some judges, man, who've gotten in trouble, man, and I know some lawyers who've been disbarred, man, for standing on principle. You know what I'm saying? I also know a few cops, man, that are 10-10, man. They don't play no games, man. I know cops, man, who are on the run, man, because they wouldn't go along with some foolishness, man, that their fellow cops were into, man. They were on the run, man. The cops put a hit on them, put a street hit on them. They had to dip, man. So I've known a few, man, who were okay, man. Oh, I didn't even say Killmonger from Yo, man, I thought that sounded familiar, man. This dude Chuck Spencer said, man, he from Spencer Killmonger. Killmonger from the Black Panther movie. I didn't even think about it, bro. I really didn't. I didn't even think about it. So I'm gonna go ahead, man, and wrap this thing on up, man. It's been going on for a minute here. I'm gonna wrap it on up. Good to see everybody in the chat, man. I'm glad y'all came through on this Friday night, man. You could have been anywhere enjoying yourself, man, but you chose to come in here, man, and chop it up with Book of AlphaRonomy. And I appreciate it, man. I really do. I'm going to keep doing this, man, this live stream thing. I'm going to be active. I wasn't going to do it, man, but yesterday I said I was going to do it at 5, man, and Tamara Reese came on the channel and said, hey, dude, I was waiting to get an alert for the live stream at 5. I had a super busy day, man. I had a bunch of meetings. I had to meet over contractors, man, for the building, and had to meet up with the surround sound guy. Had to meet up with the guy that's going to frame my mailbox outside on Front Street. Had to meet up with a lot of people, man, today. I had to meet up with the decorator. Let me see. I had to meet up with the guy who's going to create the drainage for the area, so when it rains, it won't pool up. I had to meet a lot of people today, man. But Tam came through, man, and said, hey, I was waiting, man. I said, man, you know what? I'm going to go up an hour. And I came on, man, did this live stream, man. And I'm glad I did, man. I'm glad I did. Appreciate everybody coming through, man. Chuck, be easy, homie, be easy. Glad to see you in here, man. Hope to see you in another one, man. Axeman Hanson, good to see you in the stream, man. Everybody who came through, man. Elevate Higher, good to see you here. South Chi, man, good to see you in here. Starting to get that little hat, man. It comes every now and then. See what I got. Yeah, man, I'm gonna go ahead and end the stream, man. A little cough starting to come, man. All right, man. I'm gonna go ahead and come out of here, man. Y'all hear me in here. Hold on. All right, had to go hit that hall breezer, man. Look, I got some old mangoes in my damn garbage can, man. I just went over there, man. God, shit stinks, man. What time you get off, town? Damn. It's crazy, man. This cough, when you come out of that flu thing, man, this little cough comes and goes, man. I just went through a whole stream without one cough. Now you see how it just comes on? It's crazy like that, man. So we'll catch back up here tomorrow, man. I think I'll do another evening time stream tomorrow, man, because I got a couple of baseball games to go to in the morning, man. So I think I'll do another. That dude said I got BDSM toy. Now that's a band, man, that I was using when I was fat, man. When I first started cutting, man, I was using that band to do pull-ups, man. It's a resistance band. So Chemical JDZ, what up, bro? Good to see you in the stream, man. So I ain't gonna hang out here too much longer, man. I'm gonna go ahead and get ready to shut this thing on down, man. I think I'll do an evening stream tomorrow, man. I'll probably come on maybe at 6. Maybe I'll come on at 6 tomorrow. What time did I come on tonight? I think I came on at 7 tonight. I'll come on at 7 again tomorrow, man. I'll come on at 7 tomorrow, man. We'll come in here and chop it up, man. I'm gonna do a little research, man, and kind of have some. I have some great topics tomorrow, man. I got some topics that I want to use, but I want to hold off on those and use them during the week. So I'll come on tomorrow, man, and really, get it up, man, and have a real good chop up. Everybody who donated in the super chat, man, I appreciate it. Everybody who come in the chat, man, and chopped it up with me, man, I appreciate it. We're gonna go ahead, man, close this thing on out. Appreciate everybody coming through. Hope to see you guys again tomorrow, man. I'll be back tomorrow at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time, same station. And it's always, like I always say, Alpha's up, Betas down. Peace.